So I want to introduce myself in case other people who listen to this or hop on later don't know me. My name is Shawn Mielke, and I've been in the health and fitness industry for about 15 years now. My focus is more on women's health, and I have a focus with that on hormone health. So what got me into focusing a little more on hormone health is having myself imbalanced hormones throughout the years. I dealt with different things such as infertility, irregular periods, and didn't know until right before I got pregnant with my son, which he's 4 now, and even learned more now, some different natural methods that I can do to have regular periods and to feel better, have energy. We all want that, right? So I'm helping Amanda. She's out of town, and she asked if I could speak on a topic tonight because it's kind of hard for her to talk where she's at with her kids right now. So she is on listening. And we are starting today. My focus is on women's health, but I'm kind of focusing a little more on the hormone aspect. And I kind of even broke that down because there are so many things with hormones that affects women's bodies. So I could go on, and I want to respect your time and keep this at 20 minutes. So I'm starting out with cortisol, which is stress hormone. And the reason I chose that is because I'm hearing a lot about that right now. I'm a health coach, so with my clients, they're having a lot of different issues with their hormone and cortisol levels going up because of stress, and some are lower because of some trauma that they've been through. So I was going to start with that, and bear with me here because this is typically Amanda's account. So I'm going to do my best to share pictures, but it's going to I have to pull them up one by one here. So let me pull this up. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Let's see here. And I'll leave time at the end if anybody has any questions. And I am going to have somebody speak and give a little testimonial at the end, who I will introduce. Okay. Let me know. Can you guys see this first slide?
Yes.
Okay, good. And you can snapshot this if you'd like to save it. So this one is about cortisol imbalances. So I want to just start first explaining about high cortisol levels and the causes with that. And stress is, of course, the main cause. And it says chronic stress, but different level. It doesn't have to be chronic for your cortisol levels to go up. And food allergies and sensitivities. Gluten is a big one that can cause cortisol issues. Over-exercising, which sounds crazy, but if you wear out your body and you're stressed at the same time, that can raise your cortisol levels. Extreme dieting and eating disorders. So if you do a lot of like yo-yo dieting and extreme dieting on a constant basis, that will mess with your cortisol levels, as well as eating disorders. So the symptoms with this is feeling tired and wired. So what that means is you might feel tired, but then when it's time to go to bed, you feel wired, like you can't go to sleep, but you just feel drained and exhausted, but your mind isn't letting you sleep. Difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. Increased belly fat. So I have a lot of my clients that come to me and say, how do I get rid of the extra weight around my stomach? And that's typically cortisol levels, which typically can be because of stress. So I work with them on balancing that out. Sugar cravings, which what women don't really have sugar cravings, right? Once in a while, but if that's your main craving on a consistent basis. Difficulty concentrating, anxiety, nervousness, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and decreased fertility. So high cortisol is something I had that I didn't realize I had, and that was causing some of my infertility issues, as well as a couple other things that I will be getting into. Low cortisol levels is extreme trauma. So if there's been something big, like maybe a loss in your family or something more traumatic, Addison's disease, stuff going on with your adrenals. So adrenal, and that's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to go too much into that tonight because there's a lot of information on that. And if you're interested, I can always talk more about that on another topic. But Adrenal is what kind of is your fighter and flighter mode that keeps your body just going. So if that gets out of balance, that's going to also mess with your cortisol levels. So the symptoms for this one is fatigue, difficulty staying asleep, feeling unrested, difficulty waking, dizziness, low blood pressure, lower stress tolerance, so you don't have as much tolerance for stress, crying for no reason, and symptoms of depression. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide I have here. So as you can see, cortisol has a lot, and that's just one hormone. Let's see here. Okay, so I put on here different foods. So the first one I wanted to explain that can help balance out your hormones is clean protein. Now, when I say clean protein, grass-fed meats, wild caught fish, pasteurized chicken and turkey with no hormones added, pasteurized eggs and organic vegetables, lentils, and beans. So all of those are sources to help balance out your hormones. Just more. Once again, I apologize. I have to keep switching these one by one. Okay, so here's another one, and feel free to snapshot these if you'd like to save them. So healthy fats, a whole list here: olive oil, coconut oil, grass-fed ghee or butter, unless you're sensitive to dairy, of course. Animal fats from grass-fed animals, avocados, nuts, seeds, and nut seed butters, organic cow or goat sheep dairy. I actually do a lot of goat cheese rather than other cheese. Fish oil or cod liver. So those are healthy fats. Okay, so we've got organic fruits and vegetables. So we've got the dark leafy greens. So you can, make lots of different salads, add some spinach in there, mixed greens, berries, pomegranate, apples, grapefruit, cantaloupe, a whole list there. The main vegetables to add in are broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, to help balance things out. And then beets, squash, pumpkin, ripe, plantain, and carrots. Beets are huge. Those are very important to add in. And the apples, I say those are two of the top to add in on a daily basis. Grabbing the right one here. Oh, this one's a little smaller. So this one, we've got some resistant starches. So we've got the sweet potatoes. I myself do a lot of sweet potatoes. I'll make a sweet potato and I'll add like different toppings on them, like maybe different lentils, whatever you really like, avocado on top. So then I'm also getting some avocado. Do those quite often. I make like sweet potato hash. So there's a lot you can do with sweet potatoes. Regular potatoes and squash, organic oatmeal. And I do have some recipes I added in here with overnight oats that I'm going to share with you guys. Unripe bananas and green plantain, beans, lentils, avocados, nut seeds, and nut seed butter. There is a nut seed butter that I get at Costco, and it's mixed nuts. So it has a variety of different nuts, which I really recommend on that. Okay, and then we've got the gluten-free greens, which is buckwheat, amaranth, quinoa, brown, black, or white rice. So these are good. Like, I'll prep my food a lot. on Sundays, and then I might make some like extra rice, some extra chicken breasts, some extra vegetables, so then I can use it different ways, like on top of my salad, or we can make a stir fry or make some lettuce wraps. I'm a big prep ahead. I always notice a difference if I don't prep ahead, that I don't do as well that week as far as eating habits. So it's good to, unless I have a snack or meal bar from Shaklee on hand, of course, but it's nice to have a meal ready. Okay. So we are going on to and the last one of this, I've got sea vegetables. I know some of these probably don't even look familiar, but out of all of these, the one I do most is the seaweed salad. And you can get this at different Asian inspired restaurants, but it's actually very good. It might not sound very good, but that's my favorite. So I get that quite often. And I've tried the nori before, but I haven't tried the other ones yet, but I think I'm going to add those on my to try list. So those are also very good to add into your diet to help balance out your hormones. Okay, so I wanted to show everybody what I recommend. So if I have a client that comes to me about her hormones being imbalanced, or basically any kind of like woman health issues going on with her body, I always recommend her starting out with the Shaklee Cleanse. And the reason for that is it just gives your body a reset. You're kind of starting out fresh. So I recommend them doing the cleanse. It's a 7-day cleanse. I've done this myself and many people I know, and it's great. You feel great on it. Your energy feels better. People have lost weight on it if they're trying to lose weight. So you can use it for a variety of reasons. After that, I have them start on the Vitalizer Women. These are great. It's a strip of supplements and it has every nutrient you need in there. So it's easy in one strip. And I took that all through my pregnancy and I continue to take that daily. So that's definitely something that I recommend to all my clients to take after they do the cleanse. And then I start them on a plant-based, but typically soy. If you do have something going on with your hormones, with an imbalance, unless you have a soy allergy, I like to recommend using the soy. So that's the regimen I really like to get them in, and that's a meal replacement, so they can use the Life Shake in place of a meal. I know myself, I like to, if I can have one thing that's easy for one meal and it's just, I can blend it up and it's done, I can drink it in the car on the way to work. Sometimes I'll pick it up before and just grab it out of the fridge in my shaker, shake it up, and I'm done. I've got plenty of shake recipes if anybody would like any of those as well. Beth, are you cooking?
I'm wondering how much you guys could hear that.
Okay.
No, okay. I was getting my, since you were talking about, I was getting my Vitalizer Women out.
Oh, there you go.
Talk about that too.
Okay. So vitamin D3, this is huge. And this is another one I highly recommend. It's great for immunity, breast health. If people have the breast cancer that runs in their family, I have one of my health coach clients I just worked with. I got her to start taking, she just started taking vitamin D3. It's huge. We don't get enough of it living in Michigan, of course, but this is definitely a great one I recommend adding in. It's very cheap. I think it's $10 to $12 a bottle. I can check for sure on that. But this is definitely a great one to add in. You know, we try to get as much as we can from our daily food, but it is hard to get all the supplements and vitamins we need from our daily food. So that's why I love adding in the shakes, because, you know, it's giving you the protein and it's also adding in extra vitamins in the shake. So then if you take that with your Vitalizer, you're doing pretty well with getting some of the nutrients you're not getting in your daily food. Oops, just went back to the same one. I really, really like the vitamin D. So I wanted to show that a second time. Okay, So this is another supplement that I recommend. This has been key for myself and a lot of my clients with what's going on right now. I own a business in Holland, so we're getting at the point where we're actually reopening on Thursday. So it can be a lot to do to prepare for setting up safety guidelines and everything. But this stress relief, I can't say enough about. When I first order it, you're always hesitant. Let's see how great this will work, but it's amazing. I actually took one today. It was kind of a long day at work, and then I have a 4-year-old who he must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. So literally 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, okay, I feel more at ease. And it's, of course, all natural ingredients. All of Shaklee products have had many years study. That's what I love about this company. And it's the only company that I'll recommend to any of my clients for any products. But I love this because it does help with people that have issues going on with their cortisol levels. So this is huge. I can tell a difference by taking this. Like if I feel stressed, I start to notice it right away where I get a little bloat in my stomach, and it's just because of tension. So I feel right away when I take this, like my stomach feels better. I feel more at ease. I can concentrate better. It actually gives me more energy. I don't feel so tired. And it helps, like I do it like if I'm getting ready to start my period, it's something I'll take. It kind of just calms things down. But I can't say enough. This has definitely been a lifesaver during this process. And I take one a day right now. So it's really great. I also recommend this if there's something called a gentle sleep complex also. I have a lot of clients that have a hard time falling asleep. So I recommend the gentle sleep complex. But if the reason for them to fall asleep is because their mind doesn't shut down and relax, as myself, sometimes I'm always thinking of what I got to do next, I recommend taking one of these stress reliefs with it at night, because it really helps. Just the mixture of them both together really has been proven to help them sleep better. I've had a lot of people come back to me and tell me what great results it's had. But you can also take it during the day. If you know you're going to be in a situation that might be a little more stressful, you could take it, and it really does calm you down before, about 20 minutes before. So that is definitely a great one I wanted to share. I mean, there's a ton of stuff I could go on and on to share, but I want to try to keep it simple for you guys. Okay. So I wanted to share, so these are some different overnight oat recipes if you guys would like to snapshot that. So the only thing that's not on here that I add to these is I add a scoop of the Life Shake protein mix through Shaklee. So depending on which one I do, I either add chocolate or I add vanilla. And then I just stir that up and I just let them set overnight. And then in the morning, I can grab it and go. I have these, my son loves these, my husband, our whole family eats this. It's just something simple. Another thing, if you want something other than a protein shake, but then you can still add the protein, you're getting that in there. And oats are very good for helping with hormones. So that's why I recommend this. Unless you have some kind of sensitivity to oats, then of course this isn't a good option for you. But these are all great recipes, so feel free to save those if you'd like. And we're recording this as well. So the chocolate overnights is my favorite. Okay, so I wanted to just recommend a couple different books. The Woman Code is great, and it doesn't have to be just if you're having fertility issues. It just gives you ideas of helping to balance out your body and keeping things flowing nice. And then there's also another one I have not read, but I've heard a lot of people highly recommended it, and I've had a client read it, Taking Charge of Your Fertility. So these are a couple great books if you are looking just to balance out your hormones, or maybe are having fertility stuff, or just wanting to just feel better. You can get, I know the Women Code's on Amazon. Okay, got one more slide here, and then I'm going to leave it open. Okay. So this last one I wanted to talk about is the menopause balance complex. So if you are at the golden age and you are starting to go through menopause, I really highly recommend the Menopause Balance Complex. I recently have somebody that started this, and after a month, I asked her how she felt. Um, Before she started it, she was waking up in the middle of the night with just her whole body sweaty. She couldn't sleep. She'd wake up often, and then in the morning felt exhausted. After a couple weeks of taking this, she said that she got a little warm, but did not wake up sweaty. Slept through the night, felt less agitated throughout the day, wasn't feeling so many hot flashes, maybe just got warm here and there, like temperature warm, like she could just take her sweatshirt off. Didn't feel like she was having so many mood swings. So definitely helped improve. So this is a key to helping you if you are feeling some of those symptoms. So that is all. So that's all the slides I wanted to share. And I wanted to leave it open if anybody has any questions. And then I wanted to, after that, introduce Beth DeYoung, who I got into Shaklee because she was trying to get pregnant, and we did a little bit of health coaching together, and I gave some different options for her to start. And I wanted her to share her story, but I will first leave it open if anybody had any questions, and if not, we'll move on to Beth's story. No. Quiet. Making it easy for me. All right, Beth, if you want to go ahead, if you don't mind just sharing your story of what got you into using Shaklee products and how it helped you, that would be great.
Sure. Well, thank you. I like the opportunity to talk because I just found several things really helpful, and it can be life-changing, and at least at minimum, just feeling somewhat better just is so huge. And so I want other people to be able to hopefully to make a difference for at least one other person, that they try something, they feel better. I mean, that's huge. And so hopefully it helps somebody. I had two main things that you also touched on tonight that were really helpful to me. The first one, like you said, you like to start people out with the Vitalizer Women. I would totally agree. It is full of all the vitamins we need, but it also is a great prenatal. I even told my OB about it. She's like, yeah, that's awesome. It has everything we could possibly want in there, the DHA, everything. And what I was making noise earlier because I was trying to get my strip here to show. So there's 2 red, 2 green, the yellow, and then the probiotic. There's 6, and at first I went, oh my goodness, that's a lot. But I just do sort them. I do 3 in the morning and then the rest 3 at night. And that works really well because it splits them up, and then they last in your body for 12 hours, which is awesome because then you're constantly getting those vitamins. So if I take it in the morning, by the evening, I'm taking the other 3, and then it helps me. And overnight, while I'm sleeping, then I'm getting all those vitamins too for the baby because yes, I'm pregnant. And so this has been a huge thing that I just really have been really intentional, more so about putting things into my body that are really healthy, things that I trust and I feel are safe. And like Sean mentioned, I'm just so happy that Shaklee's done tons of research over the years on these products, and that also makes me feel better. It's more natural than a lot of things are just created in a lab as well. So that has been great. And then also I just want more natural things like the Life Shakes I've been taking for a couple of reasons. One is my mom a few years back had breast cancer, and it is not hereditary, so I'm thankful for that, but I have a higher chance just because she had it. And then also because it was not hereditary for her, that means it was more of a fluke. And so I look around, I have a friend who, couple of different friends friends of my husband and myself that have gone through cancer, and I'm sure anybody listening all knows at least one person that's gone through it, and it's really prevalent in this too. And so I just think there must be something in our environment, and immediately I look at what's the most direct thing that we put in our body. Well, that's food. So I think food is huge. I have skin cancer in my family. I had precancerous spot at 10 years old. So I'm really careful with that. Shaklee is a really nice sunscreen I use too that is safer and doesn't have all the chemicals in it as well. It's like, okay, well, if you have a lot of chemicals in your sunscreen, you're putting chemicals in your body at the same time that you're trying to prevent from getting cancer. So that just doesn't make sense to me. So all natural is great. So that was another product I've been using lately. But the other staple besides the Vitalizer Women is the Life Shake. Because I'm pregnant, I've been taking the soy one, which has more, as far as hormones go, like Sean was saying, it helps with that. I was experiencing my second trimester some fainting symptoms. I didn't actually pass out, but I have once before a few years ago, so I at least knew what it was like and what kind of to watch for. And so I'd quick lay down and elevate my legs, which you're supposed to do if you feel like you're going to pass out. And I prevented it, but that would keep me from doing what I needed to do. I just wasn't feeling well. So I immediately tried to look at, okay, what am I not getting enough of? And being pregnant, you're supposed to get a lot more protein than you even normally get. So Sean had mentioned these shakes. I'm like, okay. So she gave me some samples to try. And I first, for a long time, after buying the product, just heated it up with unsweetened almond milk. And you can't boil it because that kills the good stuff, but you can warm it up. And I would just mix it up. So it was sort of like a vanilla hot chocolate. That's kind of how I viewed it. And that was good. But then the whole extra step that I liked even better was when I started actually making the shakes. And I thought, okay, I'll just put the extra effort to make them. So it's so quick now. And I use the same recipe more or less that Sean uses and Amanda uses. I first had the vanilla, now I have the chocolate, but the chocolate Life Shake, 2 scoops of that with ice, unsweetened almond milk. I put either actual peanut butter or the powdered version, which I get the stuff that doesn't have any sugar in it because my sugar spikes easily these days. And then a little Dutch cocoa powder because it has, it's a little richer and has more, doesn't have any sugar. So I mix all that together. Sometimes I throw half a banana in there and it is just really tasty. I actually look forward to it, which I thought previous to this that these health shakes were going to be just something I would have to, kind of force down. But they taste really good. There's no weird texture. Flavor's great. And so I look forward to that. I eat the same one every day, but I'm going to branch out and try others too. But that's been huge because all my symptoms of not feeling well went away within 2 days of trying these shakes. That really started out my day well. It's a full meal when you add other things to it, and just really made a huge difference. And I actually just, not on purpose, but because it's a full meal, I've been eating really healthy, been cutting out lots of sugar out of my diet. I've had a really healthy weight for my pregnancy as well, which is hard to do for a lot of women, but I think these things I've been taking is really the key. It's nothing, I've been working at it too, but nothing in my control fully. Starting out with those protein shakes have been helpful. It's not a weight loss shake. There are those too with Shaklee, but these just worked really well as far as having a balanced diet, and I just feel so much better. And so those are some staples. The Vitalizer and the Life Shakes. Sunscreen's awesome too. It's just for a little extra thing, but yeah, those two have been really making a difference for me, and continue to use them and will after my pregnancy as well, because I just feel better, and I thought I felt good, and then just felt even better than I even thought I could. So that's what I've got. You're welcome.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add before? Sorry, we did go a little over, but there's so much to talk about. We're so excited about everything.
Yes.
Anybody else like to share anything before we log off?
You girls did great. Thank you so much.
Karen, thanks for joining.
Yeah. I have a niece that is having fertility problems, so I was like, I want to see if I can't. I've suggested a few things to her, but not I have some more ideas.
Yeah, and let me know if you want me to just do a talk over the phone with her. I can just do that
Okay.
for free and talk to her. So
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sean.
definitely my passion. So
Good.
yeah, well, we'll look forward to seeing Amanda back, and have a safe trip back home, Amanda. And just a reminder that we do have the new Life Shakes. So if you want to check those out and order them, they taste great. I tried the chocolate already.
They are awesome.
Yeah. So great. Well, thank you everybody for joining in and taking the time to listen. And this is recorded. So if anybody